welcome to Canon City Comic Club, an episodic examination of the most memorable storylines in comic books. I'm your host, Tristan Cooper, and I thought this Endgame comic was nothing like the movie. That was kind of weird. Justin, what did you think? I was surprised that the Joker never picked up Thor's hammer. I thought that was a little weird.
Well, you see, he's not actually worthy. In
Okay.
Age of Ultron, he was only slightly worthy.
Okay.
But since he's done all the murders,
Sure.
he's now unworthy.
Sure. Interesting. Thank you, Justin Hall. Stepping in for Andrew. Also here, Carolyn Page.
Hello. I thought the scene where all of the women Batman get together was just so pandering.
Yeah.
And there was no need for the empath to be there.
They really didn't earn it, I don't think.
No.
That scene.
But I like that Black Panther's back.
Total fan service.
So this week we are reading Batman Endgame, which is part of the New 52 run by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo of Batman. It's a culmination of this big story. I don't know, had either of you read any of the other Batmen up to this point?
No.
So
I
you're
think I've only
dropping
read The
in.
Killing Joke.
Oh,
That's
okay.
like the only
Oh, you mean any at all, or like leading up to
I
this?
was thinking about this run, but like we can talk about other Joker or
there's
Batman stuff.
Nothing to talk about for me. But no, especially not leading into this.
Mhm.
No.
I was a little worried. I was looking up. I wanted to pick a fun, like kind of a breezy Joker story to kind of like hop into. We've done The Killing Joke for a pilot episode that never aired, and that's like a really like. Oof, there's a lot to dig into there. That's like pretty iffy and not fun to talk about.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know if I'd call this breezy.
compared to a lot of the other stuff we've read, I feel like I don't know.
Oh, this was fun.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was-
I mean, yes, there's a lot of blood. People get their arms chopped off, and many people die in the streets.
Yeah.
And there are babies with Joker faces on them. And
But there is a dinosaur with lipstick on.
There you
so
go.
That's breezy enough.
So-
Yeah, it's a
it's-
Disney movie, basically.
Yeah.
basically. So before we get into the story, I think it might help you all. Maybe I should have done this with you before you read this. We should do some continuity catch up.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Because this is, as I mentioned, in the New 52 universe, this is issues 35 through 40. So that we have like 3 years of build up in Batman stories up to this
Okay.
moment.
You're going to need some Drano for that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Continuity mustard.
Yes.
What? Go.
Yes, thank you. So
Wait, can we get one more? I want one more.
One more joke?
One more pun. Yeah.
More like Trist win. More like
come on, you got to really relish it,
more like
Oof. All right, no, we got
all
there.
right.
It's fine. We did it.
So at the beginning of the New 52, Joker, like, I don't know if you saw these, like, on the internet, probably, you saw Joker cut his own face
Yeah,
off and then
yeah.
put it back on, and it was like his head had a rotting face, and it was
Yeah.
like,
He like changed his mind. He's like, wait, no, I should actually wear my face.
No, no,
I need that.
yeah, I mean, he cut his face off for the first year of the New 52, and then he came back with the face on the sequel to
His
Face
own,
Off.
his like,
yeah.
Yeah.
he
My
had
favorite
John Travolta's face. That's why he was so spooky.
It's just John Travolta.
Looks like he's wearing someone else's face. I don't know.
So
Now,
that was
why did he do that? Just to be spooky?
He's
Because
spooky.
he's crazy.
Okay.
He's the
Okay.
Joker, and he came back for an arc called "The Death of the Family," which was when he basically had like tried to convince Batman that they're in love, and then they're inexorably linked, and
That they're in love?
yeah, basically,
Like like love?
basically. I mean, like it's always been kind of like under the surface there.
I
anyway.
mean, the homoeroticism in all comics is very strong.
yeah,
And
it's-
between these two,
it
cut the tension with a knife.
it comes a little bit more to the surface in that series, but at the end of that arc, they kind of have like a breakup, I guess you could say.
They
Like he
kiss.
tosses him off a cliff, and like he makes Joker really uncomfortable by trying to tell the Joker who he really is.
Yeah, they bring up the throwing off the cliff
Yeah.
thing as like the big thing Joker's mad about. Which I don't know. Since I didn't know the context, I was like, well, haven't they been fighting for like 100 years?
Well,
Like,
not the first cliff they've thrown.
right? Like he seems really upset about this one incident. I
Yeah.
have no idea what it was.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's-
That's the thing is like with
whatever.
a lot of these stories, like you can always just kind of explain it away. It's like, oh, it's the Joker.
Right.
Oh, you know.
Right. Well, he's kooky,
Yeah.
so who knows?
So towards the beginning of this run, they kind of like skipped a lot of the Joker stuff and went for some. They brought up something original, which was the Court of Owls, which is this kind of cool like.
Yeah.
Ooh, very good. Bringing it back. Bringing it back. It's
Boy, this
it's
came
a
out of
secret
nowhere for
society.
me.
It's a secret society of like very rich people who've been running Gotham for like hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And like Batman didn't know about them until just like recently.
Do they live in his pocket or like his mind?
Yeah, what's happening?
It
They
felt
live, like,
like
What's going on
underground.
there?
Oh, he went actually underground.
Yeah.
I thought he
I
had them
thought it
in
was
like
like
a
a
little
mind construct or
pocket
something.
dimension.
It seemed like like
Yeah.
a weird kind of.
I thought this was going to be some
dimension.
alien spirit shit, but they're just people who live. They're mole people, but they call themselves owls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
I don't remember how the arc ended. to be
No,
honest
no
with
more
you.
questions.
It doesn't sound like I don't remember a pocket dimension, but maybe you're right about that because he does seem to have control over them, and they come back. The only reason I bring that up is because they kind of come back later, and also the history of Gotham kind of plays into the story a little bit. We should
It
get
was
in.
built by owls. Who knew? I don't know.
We should get into the story.
I
Who
won't,
knew?
I won't do that again. I'm
I don't
sorry.
believe you.
T minus 15 minutes tops. So we should get into the book breakdown with the meat of the story here, which starts with Batman getting his shit kicked out of him by Wonder Woman, who just like bursts through a window and
It's great.
starts killing him because she hates him.
So it starts with Batman having recurring dreams that he's dying over and over again.
Right,
Mhm.
because of in previous issues he was infected by a scarecrow toxin,
Sure.
and that's kind of left over. It's like
Yeah.
always Batman's always recovering from a battle from something or other.
Yeah.
Scarecrow Toxin is the least appealing villain to me. Nothing is more terrifying than fear.
Okay,
And
that's
That's
fair.
That's the only thing
I
you
don't wanna
should
fuck with
be afraid
Scarecrow.
of. Yeah.
but I kind of thought at first I was expecting throughout this book to have the reveal be that it was all a dream,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I
'Cause
think
they
they
never
kind of
cleared
wanted
it
you,
up.
at least in the beginning, when like Wonder Woman burst in, you're like, oh, is this still a nightmare?
Right.
Like that. It seemed like maybe that was their intention.
Right.
I didn't pick that up.
Well, I
I didn't
mean,
get that.
okay, fine, whatever. I'm an asshole. Fine.
Maybe it's because I already knew the story going in. And, like,
Okay.
it's supposed to be. It's
You
supposed
flip
to
to the last
be.
page, like "Pff, I'm not getting tricked.
It's supposed to be a reveal
More
like,
like
as to who's
Tristan.
behind all of this stuff.
Sure,
Be-
sure.
But the problem is that we read the graphic novel, which has the Joker like right on the cover. So you're like, oh, the Joker's here.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously he's the one behind the entire Justice League coming out for Batman, and him like calling in his emergency reserve mech suit and just sort of like beating everyone up.
Which
that was great.
loved. It reminded me of the Tower of Babel,
Right.
which we've also read on this
Mhm.
show, where it's just like Batman versus the Justice League
Yeah.
a lot.
And he's got like countermeasures for everyone, basically. This
Yeah.
is
yeah,
like
which really strains like, you know.
here's the deal. Batman has had so many countermeasures for the
Of
Justice League
course,
so many times.
Fine. But like he's
before.
got like a magic rope from like some god. Like,
Yeah.
where'd you get this rope?
The Black Market.
Yeah,
magic
he says
black
the magic
market.
black market. It really reminds me of like when you're playing make believe and
Yeah.
like some shit kid is like, no, I'm invincible to like whatever you do. It's like, well, for fuck's sake, like how's this gonna be fun? It's like, no, I got a magic
Well, I
rope.
got armor piercing bullets.
Yeah.
Well, I have armor piercing resistant armor.
I got
So-
suns in my fist. I got
Yeah, right.
anti-Superman suns in my fist.
So it's not long before Superman comes in, and as you mentioned, he got the atom to shrink red suns down so he could punch people with
Awesome.
them. Those
Well,
seem like
punch
they
one
would be.
specific person with them.
He can punch Superman with them, and it does do this cool thing where Superman gets kind of a bloody mouth a little bit, and it has like he's like the Joker. Boo.
Spoiler alert.
How is there any crime in this world still?
What do you mean?
They have, it's like replicators. Like they have the resources to feed everyone,
Mhm.
house everyone.
Yeah,
There should
that's
be
a good
no
point.
sickness. There should be no
It
death.
should be Star Trek, you know, post
Yes.
Post scarcity.
scarcity, yeah.
Sure.
Oh man.
No, that's the thing is superheroes only use their vast powers. They only
For
harness
punching.
the powers of
Punch clowns.
several suns, to punch someone,
each other.
to punch their friend in case they go a little
Evil
batty,
again.
as it were.
A little baddie.
I said it.
Burn it down. Burn it all down.
What's the time on that pun?
Who?
So it is. I mean, it is like one of those classic things. It doesn't last too long. It lasts the first issue is basically the Batman's fight with everyone, and then I think part of the second issue is Batman fighting Superman. He's cleared out the entire block because he uses gas to clear out the block. It's harmless gas, but now you get to see the really cool art, like just like everything exploding all over the place, punching through everything. The Batman's Hulkbuster mech, basically. Super Buster. I don't know what you want to call it.
Reminded me of the Rhino mech at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Was it the end or beginning?
That was at the very end.
Oh,
I didn't see because it was in the commercials, and that was the last scene in the movie.
Whew. Oh. Wow!
Can't wait to see the third one of those.
Yeah. When is that? When's Andrew Garfield coming back?
He's always been there.
Okay,
just under the surface.
All right. So Batman just like spits in Superman's face and to beat him because he has kryptonite gum.
Yeah, like this is another thing where it's like, oh, for fuck's sake,
come on! I always have it.
Come on.
He's always.
I get it. He's always prepared.
If your best friend could instantly turn evil and has the power of a god at any time, you'd have some gum too.
I'm sure.
Some anti-best friend gum.
I would probably just like distance myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I probably like wouldn't come to like every third thing that he invites me to, and then it's every like second or fifth thing or something like that. You know what I mean? That I don't come to,
you
and
just,
then
like,
I just
start
kind of,
getting
like,
not invited.
Yeah, and I mute him on Facebook so I don't like see his stuff.
But hey, remember like Batman? I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I already killed people.
Wow. Well, he's dead now, so
okay. So
I love the reveal of that it is that the Joker's behind all of it.
Yeah.
When it's like they're like, that's actually kind of funny, and the Batman's just like, no,
just like shit.
Because the Joker has been gone for like in comics time, like a year, maybe a little over a year or two, and
back,
ever since their cliff breakup or
their
whatnot.
Spat.
Yeah.
Their little spat, and this sort of incapacitates the entire Justice League, basically, because they're all Jokerized, and so Batman's got them all incapacitated and like on IV drips or whatnot. He's got the Flash. It's kind of like laying in a bed, like a little cozy, because he used some like lubricant. He spurted it on the floor and just like that's it.
Special lube in his suit.
It
squirts out.
It's so quick. It's so quick. He just like demolishes each of them one by one very quickly.
Yeah, I did like how it was like part of the suit where like to deal with Flash, he needs a computer to process it faster than he can. So before Batman even knew what happened, he had won. Yeah, that's a Batman thing.
It's so fast. Like your computer is faster than the Flash. Like again, like use this to compute a cure for cancer, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, it's gonna be like
I need to squirt lube really quickly, like so fast.
Yeah,
that's all it's for.
I mean, priorities, I guess.
Catwoman loves it.
All right.
Meow.
Okay, so Gotham City's fucked because the Joker is back and the Justice League are out of commission. Yep. The entire town, the entire city seems to be under this Joker's spell, which is like contagious. That like people get poisoned, they laugh, and then it just like spreads.
Yeah, so it's
zombies.
Like it's a zombie apocalypse.
Basically, yeah,
that was pretty fun.
Yeah, except for the zombies fight each other. It turns their feelings of love into hate. It inverts them. So that's why the Justice League, who all love Batman so much, and that's why it reverts and they instantly go after him. Because it doesn't seem like they're under mind control exactly.
No.
Like, because I was kind of confused as to how the Joker Venom works exactly. Because, okay, it inverts them, but, like, the Justice League is like, I'm going to make a beeline for Batman. I'm not going to make a beeline for Superman. What? Don't they love him more?
Right.
I mean, Batman's more popular, probably.
Now Now we're thinking too much about Oh No.
No.
Yeah,
Look.
Superman's like unachievable. It's like he's like a celebrity
Okay.
like Brad Pitt. You don't
Sure.
like have a huge crush on Brad Pitt
Sure.
you're never gonna
Right.
meet him.
Yeah.
But you can have like a huge crush on Aubrey Plaza because like you feel like you could run into her in the street and be like, "Hey, do you want to get a drink?"
That
She'll be like,
makes
"Haha,"
sense, yeah.
and then she'll say yes, and then you'll like go back and play video games together. It'll be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, just
You know what I'm
hypothetically.
He's like Batman is Aubrey Plaza.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's fair.
That's the casting we need,
Yeah.
not Robert Pattinson. What?
Yeah, no.
Where
That
are we?
doesn't that don't
I'm
make
really
sense.
done now.
What does not make sense to me is that Joker is like this like super scientist, right? He's like what's always going on in the background is that the Joker comes up with like Joker gas.
Yeah.
And you never think about like how he's like a chemist, basically. He's like a biochemist,
Yeah.
and he can like engineer like terrible strains and toxins, and you never really see him in the lab like with a microscope, kind of like looking in,
No.
like doing tests and
Yeah.
stuff, like doing like peer-reviewed papers and stuff like that, and like. But like
Having a control
it
group.
takes so much work. There's so much work that goes on behind the scenes because he's like almost as prepared as Batman at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
more so.
He's like a genius. His genius is on the level of Batman's
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah. Totally. And like, and he's also prepared. Like he's also gone back and like photoshopped like old newspapers and stuff. And like so like when Jim Gordon is like looking at old newspapers, it's like looking at old pictures of Derry and it. And it's like there's like the
wait a
Joker
second,
is
there's a clown in this,
Yeah,
in this
exactly.
picture. Why
And-
did no one notice that?
Yeah, exactly. And he's like
Yeah.
they're like flipping through different pictures of like throughout the centuries, and like they think that like maybe he's immortal. Like that's like maybe like the
But he's not.
I mean, wow. Spoilers.
No, is he or isn't he?
No.
No.
All right.
There's goo. There's goo involved.
Believe me, there's goo.
It's not related.
Trust me,
Catwoman
there's
is
goo.
very happy.
It's not related to the Lightspeed lube.
No.
It's different
It's
goo.
a power
Different
loop.
goo.
Power
Yeah,
lube.
it's everlasting
Spine
Goo.
goo.
Mm-hmm.
spine goo. Which we don't get into because Batman is like kind of trying to search and find out like what the strain is because they can't cure it. They go to like a super scientist. I think it's Paul Decker, and he's got this like very nice quilt, and he's like, I'm quilting my biology together, and it's like secretly a reference to Crazy Quilt.
Wait, was this in this book?
This comic, one of the
I
scientists
remember
that
him wearing a
injects
quilt.
himself later and he dies.
Yeah.
And like he's working with the Joker this whole time, I think, to create this toxin because he gets the goo from Joker's spine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Batman think that he might be immortal. It's because like, well, if he's got this in his spine, that means it's in his blood. And if he's like throughout history, that maybe that means like, yeah, it's all
Yeah.
sorts of.
That's just science. If
It's
it's in
just
your
science.
spine,
It's
it's
just
in
science.
your blood.
And the goo is connected to the Lazarus pit
Mhm.
with
Right,
Ra's al Ghul.
Right.
So like there's precedent.
right. There's
you know,
precedent
it's-
for immortality.
Yeah,
and
there's
everything like that.
you know, for Batman there's reason to believe that sure the Joker's immortal and
Yeah, he's always been here.
Of course.
I guess. So he's because that happened with the Court of Owls was that Court of Owls has always been around and like just kind of under Batman's nose and like something that like even he doesn't know about.
Yeah.
And it kind of like humbles him a little bit. So he's thinking like maybe the Joker has been playing the greatest trick of all this whole time. And Crazy Quilt. Crazy
Who's
Quilt.
Crazy
Can't
Quilt?
forget
Tell
about
me
Crazy
more.
Quilt.
I'm
Crazy
interested.
Quilt was a 1960s Batman villain, like, and he also showed up a few other times since. And like, he's one of those like 1960s like goofballs of the week. You know, he's got like a really multicolored like dream coat on. He's got like a hypnotizing like rainbow ray on his like helmet and stuff like
I
that.
wanted to see that.
Cool.
That
We
sounds
didn't.
fun.
Well, that's the thing is that they got to make these modern, and so they basically have a quilt in the scene with his
Mhm.
this guy
Little
Paul
Easter
Decker,
egg.
and name him the same name as the previous Crazy Quilt, and then they
What's his power?
in this book
He was a
nothing. He's a
scientist.
scientist.
Which
in the
is
old
a
one,
real power.
Well, he has
Yeah.
a gun, so
Also real
Also
power.
gun.
Maybe Batman should have thought of that.
yeah.
Why doesn't he? Isn't it irresponsible that Batman doesn't just fucking kill the Joker? This isn't a new question, but
right.
like,
That's the killing joke, right?
Is it though?
I think there's an actual joke in the Killing Joke that is the Killing Joke.
Yeah, it's the, and then they have a good laugh at the end.
Yeah, and they
Good
choke each other out
friends.
or whatever.
And they choke each other out.
That's
and
like
then they
that was the
kiss.
fan theory about. Yeah, they choke each
Throws
other
them off the
out
cliff.
and then kiss each other goodnight before they pass out. But I mean, you think about this a lot. Like, I mean,
Batman and Joker kissing? Yeah, a lot.
I mean, should Batman just murder the Joker? And like, I'm not saying he should murder him. Exactly.
Okay,
But
go on.
cut off all his arms and legs.
Wow.
Make his
Problem.
life hell. How about that?
Problem solved.
There was
He'll
actually-
go sane from that. So.
Yeah, he'll do an inverse. There was a scene in this book
Mhm.
that got me so mad. I don't know if maybe we should wait and like do it in chronological order, but the commish, he's got Joker dead to rights
Yeah.
with his gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, stay back. Like, Joker is setting your house on fire.
Yeah.
He's grabbing an axe. He's
Yeah.
coming at you. Stop or I'll shoot. Shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
So many times.
He
Just
just-
unload into his... He shoots him in the chest once, and he's like, ha-ha, I gotcha. Did it. Better than Batman.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Shoot him in the head a bunch of
This
times.
is a serial murderer
Yes.
that is trying to kill...
Yes.
Unload your clip into his eyeballs. Like, what
Like-
are we talking about
Who also,
here?
like, canonically, like, messed with his daughter, right?
Is
Yeah.
that in this
I think so.
canon?
Yeah,
I mean,
he, like, kind of...
come on, dude.
Wouldn't you shoot him in the
Come-
head?
What are you waiting for?
I'm not condoning shooting anyone in the
I
head, but...
am. If it's
if
the
it's the
Joker,
Joker-
if it's the Joker,
Yes.
if it's the Joker, you have my permission to shoot that person in the head.
Yes.
I think that he'd be like, if he's on the loose, like, you know, it's definitely a shoot on sight thing for a cop.
For sure. Yeah, he's a. It's just, I know that we're supposed to believe that he's immortal and he, you know, got an arterial shot
Sure.
because the greatest detective saw the blood splatter. Whatever, dude. Shoot him in the head, please. For fuck's sake.
Here's the deal. Even if he just shoots him in the chest and he believes that he's dead, which he does.
What an
Like
idiot.
The-
What a moron.
Gordon also
really are
lives
angry.
in Gotham
You're
City.
fired.
Gordon lives in Gotham City, where there's all sorts of shapeshifters like Clayface,
Right.
and like this could be anything. Like unload a clip, pour acid on the body, like like just tie it up and just
Yeah.
like burn it and
Be
just like
sure.
like-
Yeah.
you,
Or he could be wearing a bulletproof vest. Like I
Yeah.
don't understand
yeah.
this. I was reading it just like getting so mad because it's like a stupid horror movie trope of like
Yeah.
got
Got
the killer.
Got him.
Let's go take
This
a
is
walk in
definitely
the woods.
Scream 1 territory.
Yeah, it's like let's look away. The body's gone.
Oh, Skeet Ulrich is back. Oh no. I get it. I didn't cover much of that. I was kind of like zooming through the story here because like shortly after Gordon finds finds out about old Joker is when all of that occurs. So we're on track. We're on
Good.
track. I know you were worried about that.
I was very worried, but I had to say my piece,
Mhm.
and I will stay quiet for the rest of the episode.
No. Okay, great. Finally. I was hoping that. So, Carolyn, so you sound like you would not murder the Joker.
What?
I would
What are
murder
you-
the Joker.
what are you talking about now?
I would murder the Joker, I
Good.
guess. I can't
Good.
really say that. I don't know if I
What
would.
are you saying?
I don't know if I would murder anyone.
Unbelievable.
If it was me,
Look at this
If it was me or the
liberal
Joker-
garbage. I would. Murder's bad.
I don't
Get
think
out of here.
murder's bad. What a liberal idea. I don't think you
PC.
can know if you would murder the Joker or not until you were in the situation. But I like to think that I would unload a clip into the Joker's
Good.
head.
I would like to think that as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
But guns are scary, guys.
yeah.
I've
No,
shot
no,
some
yeah. We're
guns,
talking
and
about
they're
like,
scary.
hey, yeah,
Less
this
scary than the Joker.
this is the
I would
only
say.
time where I'm thinking like, hey, that cop should have shot that person.
Yeah. That's the only this is the
Yeah.
only time.
That cop did not shoot that person enough, if you ask me. And you could quote me on that.
Yeah. This is the only. Usually, I'm not for executions of people who are
But
disarmed.
empty your goddamn clip.
This is the new 52. So Joker's only been around for a few years. He's only murdered like probably dozens and not hundreds of people yet.
Okay.
So-
that
But
makes
he did
sense.
just release a bioterrorist
Okay.
thing
Yeah.
onto the city.
Yeah.
So he is a murderer and a terrorist.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
he just looks gross. So like,
Well, he's
Just
got a
kill
new
him.
face.
He cut off his own face.
He cut off his own face, but he has like a new face. He's been
yeah,
hiding.
so
He
what's
was
the deal
hiding
with
as
that.
that.
Now?
He was hiding
What's
as
going
the
on?
orderly Eric Border, which
Right.
they explains like, "Hey, my name is secretly this
Jesus
all
Christ.
along."
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's an old unused name for Jester. Don't you get it, Border? No, that's
hilarious.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But like he was in the comics, I believe, like Eric Border, like shortly after Joker died or whatnot, he
Mm.
showed back up and using muscle relaxants on his face, and then that's how he tricked Batman to begin with. But Batman is in such dire straits that he goes to the Court of Owls to try to get their help because they have a lot of immortal like warriors, basically.
Okay, is that the one that he fights?
The one that he fights, that like leaps out of the water
It's
like
an owl
Swamp Thing.
man?
Yeah, like there's one called the Talon. I don't think that's that one.
I think they're all called talons, right?
Yes.
Could've
And the
Sworn-
talons
yeah.
are, I learned this from Wikipedia this morning,
Ooh.
is they are children circus performers who've been stolen and raised as assassins.
Who would
Okay.
do such a thing?
Who
To-
would take a child circus performer and raise them to be a fighter?
Who would do? No, I
That would
don't.
never work.
Could never work. It would be cruel. They should
Yeah.
go to prison for sure.
The
Absolutely.
children
Yes.
should go to prison.
Yes.
They should be shot in the head.
Please,
More
I want to be
children
that
in
clear.
prisons and more
Yeah.
police violence. That's what we're saying today here on Cannon City.
So while Batman is trying to get some help and trying to figure out if the Joker is immortal, he's like, "Hey, the Court of Owls, you've been around a while. Is the Joker been around also?
Right.
Do you know?
Have you seen this guy
Do you-
before? or-
Is it you? Did you and him? Did it's fine. Okay, that's fine. Meanwhile, Joker is like breaking into the Batcave because he knows who Batman is.
I
Can
can't
I
stop.
just can I
What's
say
wrong with
words?
me? No. I don't know what's happening. I can't stop with the owl.
So the Joker knows Batman's identity. Okay, and I don't know when this happens. Actually,
It's a bit glossed over. Yeah.
it's kind of glossed over. I think it might happen. That's the thing about jumping into volume 7 of this
Right.
comic series
right.
is that there's a lot of like backstory that you kind of like miss. Like I kind of had to like you didn't know who the Court of Owls was. I assume.
Sure didn't.
Okay,
Nope.
so that didn't sort of register for you. But
I mean, it's a comic book, so I was just like, sure.
yeah, no, that
He's
makes
in
sense.
A weird
You-
mindscape.
even if they
Yeah.
didn't
with
exist
the
beforehand,
Sex cult, fine.
yeah.
Oh. Kinky owl.
Did you
Okay.
not think? I mean, come on.
No, I didn't think sex cult.
All
I
right.
thought they were like
I'll believe you,
alien
but okay.
deities that lived in his pocket.
It just looked like a bunch of rich people that fucked each other. That's what it looked like to me.
Awesome.
Just saying.
It can be a lot of those things together all at the same
Okay.
time.
Rich aliens
Yeah.
that
Rich
fuck in your
aliens.
pocket.
Mhm.
Powerful aliens.
Awesome.
Wear
So
owl masks.
Joker breaks into the Batcave, cuts off Alfred's hand,
Sure does.
and like kind of like that's like maybe the worst thing that happens to anyone in this book. Basically, a lot of people get murdered and died. You know, they die.
Right.
Yeah,
they
there's
die.
a
Right.
scene where two Gothamites are like gouging each other's eyes out.
Sure,
sure,
That's
sure.
bad.
And
That's
there's a
good.
whole scene where like Joker recreates Crime Alley, and
Yeah.
like some other like parents and a child are gonna get killed by Joe Chill, who is also Jokerized and also brainwashed, I guess.
And alive in the same age that he was when Batman was a child. What's happening? Is it
Batman's only 32 in this?
He's pretty
something
yeah.
like that? Yeah. he
He's
looks like he's
accomplished.
20.
He's accomplished so much at that age, and it makes me feel really inadequate.
Sure.
Thanks, Batman.
Sure.
I mean, we've seen his dick in a comic. It's like, what
It's a-
what else can you take
It's a
from me, Batman?
different
What comic?
universe.
Which one is this?
This is
Is this a verse you're hearing?
Send me this after.
I'm okay. Do
Let's
not
move on.
do
Let's-
do not send Batman dick pics over the work Slack. That's not allowed. That's
There's a
traceable.
We
private-
can text about it.
Okay,
Yes.
it's out of my hands. So meanwhile, Batman figures out that he needs to get some juice, the goo out of Joker's spine to
Mm.
like produce a cure for the Joker toxin that's affecting everyone, including babies who are just like,
man, he
in-
just
in
walks
the
by and is like,
nursery.
"Don't think about it. Just
Don't
they're
think about
fine. There's no time."
he's like, they're fine. There's no time. And like, the scene didn't need to be in the book. You know what I mean? He's like,
I
but they're
liked
all,
it. It was very resonant. I was like, oh god, the babies.
Even the baby, yeah, no
Even
like
one's
the
safe.
baby.
that's
babies.
something that you sort of like think about like later, but like doesn't necessarily always like show up in the
Right.
in the book itself. It's sort of like the snap with Thanos is like, well,
Mm.
obviously there are a bunch of people in airplanes, you know, who got snapped, like
Yeah.
pilots crashed and stuff like that. And like, do the people who got unsnapped, do they appear in the sky, you know, and then fall
Mhm.
to their doom after
Mhm.
that? That's the sort of thing that they don't really show the implications.
Yeah, it'd be
I'm
like
gonna
in.
say yes, and it was just raining bodies.
It was raining bodies, and like the thing is, like if the babies are all Jokerized, so then like all of the doctors and nurses, you would think they would, I don't know,
Kill the
Kill
babies.
the-
easy targets. I don't
Oh
know,
no.
like they didn't go that far. I guess they
Not
they
that
stopped.
we've seen, but
Yeah,
now
that
we
we've
have
seen.
to wonder.
So definitely should have shot the Joker.
So-
Definitely a long time ago.
So Batman's so desperate. Go ahead.
Oh, can I want to talk about Alfred's daughter?
Alfred's daughter, yes, Julia
Okay.
Pennyworth.
Julia Pennyworth.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Penny 2
Yes.
Penny 2,
And
codename
she's
Penny 2.
called for some reason.
Yeah, she's just there. She's there at
Yeah.
the start, so I guess in a
She's there to help
previous
out her dad who was like Alfred was sick. I'm glad to know that Alfred has like another family 'cause
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has.
I've always loved Alfred. I love the idea of having
Yeah.
a butler.
It's nice knowing that
Yeah.
Alfred's fucked.
You can fund my Patreon to help get me a butler.
Only an old English butler, though.
Yeah, only an old English
Only old
butler.
English butler.
It's got to be like Jeeves.
And
It's got to be a Jeeves or an
or an Alfred.
Alfred.
She's
Mhm.
a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is she?
yeah.
So
She works for like British
Intelligence.
intelligence.
That sounds right.
Okay.
and
Sounds
she's
like
got
something
like
Alfred
some
did,
kind
too.
of Tony Stark interface thing that she.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's got like plasma screens going on.
Yeah, she's got a little bit. She takes over a little bit of the Oracle role, since in the New 52, Batgirl is no longer in a wheelchair as Oracle. So there's also someone they need at the command center. So they're like, hey, we got instead of inventing a new character, let's do someone's daughter. That sounds good.
Okay.
Flipping through.
But
Alfred. Yeah.
and to be fair, she's like an old character. She's been around for years and
Has
years.
she always been Alfred's daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like
Alright.
she showed it like briefly and
learning
then
a lot
didn't for a
today.
while until like just before the storyline.
Sure.
So,
Who's Alfred's baby mama?
I don't know. I don't.
We never find out.
I have no idea. It's Granny Goodness. I have no idea.
No.
Jeez.
No.
Go Alfred. All right.
So,
Good for him.
the
Freaky
city is in
deaky.
shambles. You know, Joker's on this big parade float, like sort of like out of Batman the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
That was the vibes that I was
Mhm.
getting. And then he's basically just like asking Batman to come get him, more or
Yeah,
less.
just surrounded by the people of Gotham
Yeah.
who are going to kill Batman on sight.
hmm
Pretty
And
good
so-
strat.
And so
Pretty
Batman teams up with the Rogues Gallery. Like Clayface, I think, is there. Poison
Yeah.
Ivy,
Mhm.
Mr. Freeze,
Yes. Bane.
Bane. Yeah,
Croc.
they're like, hey, you know, this is our city too, and afterwards, I'm gonna kill people, like just for fun
Yeah.
and profit.
Why was this? Why were they teamed up?
Because it was kind of cool.
Why do people give a shit so much about Gotham?
That's a great
Just
question.
like you got the rest of the world, go elsewhere.
Go kill people in another area, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
I was always
Why would
thinking
Somewhere where
people
there's no
still live
Batman.
in Gotham?
Yeah, it's.
it's Gotham, and like I was when I was a kid, I was watching Power Rangers. I was like, this city gets destroyed a lot. I'm like, I'm like 8, and this doesn't make sense to me. So, yes, that's another comic book thing you just have to sort of take. Just Joker's a
Mhm.
super genius on another level. Nobody creates cures for cancer, even though they have suns in their fists, and everyone wants to live in Gotham City. It's like, honestly, it's like living in New York. Kind of.
That's
It's like,
a good point.
why do people live in New York? It's like terrible to get anywhere, and
Yeah.
the rent is very high. There's bugs. There's a lot of bugs and rats.
People will scream at you on the street.
People will
They
scream
sure
at you on the
will.
street. They will just pee. They will just pee anywhere and everywhere.
Sure.
It's like, why would anyone live in New York City?
I guess there's good work in Gotham.
Yeah. You
So-
want to be a content creator not in Gotham?
Yeah.
No way.
Never gonna happen.
So one of my favorite scenes is in when they're all like formulating their plan to attack the Joker, and Batman confronts Joker and kind of like tries to like jab him, get the spine goo.
Yep.
And
get
Joker
that goo.
kind of overpowers him because he's, as we learned, like juiced up a little bit from some goo, and
He's all full of goo.
he's got Batman on the ropes, and he like kind of like mocks him by showing him on a phone, like, you know, here's where I got the goo. Here's when you knocked me
Yeah.
off the cliff, I got into the goo.
You
And
knocked me right in the goo. You idiot.
there's a scientific. It's like
Dumb idiot.
Dionysium. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magnesium,
It's,
yeah.
vibranium, unobtainium.
Mhm.
You know, that kind of thing. It's like adamantium but goo, is what I'm thinking
Yeah,
of.
basically.
Gudamantium.
Gudamanium.
Mm.
And one of my favorite little scenes in there is when the Joker gets tricked because it's Dick Grayson under the mask and not Bruce Wayne.
See, here's the problem
Okay.
with making Batman look like he's 20. Dick Grayson looks exactly like him. Like, I know, like, that's kind of the point with
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
pretending to be, but as a reader, he takes off the mask and you're like, okay, it's just Batman. Oh, it's not? Oh, whoops. Oh, he
Yeah.
has longer hair. Okay.
Yeah.
This is an aesthetic note, but I did not like that Batman had a little snub nose, like a little upturned. I
Mhm.
don't mind that kind of nose. I think it's quite an attractive kind of nose, but
Okay.
I don't want, that's not my Batman.
What, is he too pretty?
He was kind of too pretty. He was
He's-
like he had a boily, instead of a manly handsomeness, he had like a
Right.
boily handsomeness.
Sure. Okay.
I agree. He was not, kind of a masculine, masculine, but he wasn't like gruff, like.
Yeah, I want like a gruff,
Yeah.
zaddy, like
Well-
a shaved bear version
Right.
of Batman.
Well, I mean, I think that might come with age, because right now he's still like relatively young and not as jaded, and he's still got a lot of that like rich boy like blood like overpowering a lot of his other things. Like
Mhm.
that's why he's got the kind of like.
Oh, the
yeah.
richer you get, the
Yeah.
more your nose
Yeah,
turns up.
exactly.
So you
yeah.
could smell the money.
Yeah.
Checks
Oh, God, I'm so rich. Oh, my
I
God.
like that.
It's
like
very
that.
nice. I just really like that scene where Joker has Dick Grayson, and he's just like because he's like trying to unmask him, and he's like put the phone in his mouth, and you see him like look down. He's got the
Right.
phone in his mouth. You see his teeth like what? I have the surgeon on paper. That's all. I thought it was funny. So so Batman, the real Batman, has gone down to the depths where the goo is.
He knew about the goo
He
because
found
he
the
found
goo.
out from the owl people
Right.
who had they had a scale model
Yeah.
of Gotham
Yeah.
in their pocket
Mhm.
sewer where they live, and he saw that there was the goo pit
Mhm.
in the sewer
Sure.
dimension.
Yep. There you go.
I just wanted to explain that
Nailed it.
eloquently for everyone.
Good.
I definitely needed that explanation. because
Yeah.
Everything with these owl people was just like, what?
But the owl people are a crucial part of the story. They're
Yeah.
the linchpin of the story.
Yeah.
They really are.
They are. I think like I mean if we did this because like there's like a Joker movie coming out maybe around the time this episode airs
Yep.
with Joaquin, and I just wanted to pick a recent Joker story that was light and fun and breezy and full of lube and goo. And but the Court of Owls story I think is like maybe a better place to start definitely with this. It's like a unique story with like unique villains and like it sets up a world where Batman doesn't know everything and like he has to sort of like grapple with that, which is unique for him because usually he lubes and goos everyone and it's fine.
He's prepared. He's got
Yeah.
different lubes for
Yeah.
different people. Yeah.
So the last bit of the story is like this brutal like fight between Joker and Batman like in front of the pit of goo, and like they get messed up. They just
Yeah.
like there's a card in Batman's eye, like Joker's face is all mangled, and like
Yeah.
it gets really rough. And then Batman wins.
He does, but he's dead
at
forever now.
what
So there
cost?
can never be another Batman story.
I mean like he basically like destroys the pit of goo by like dropping a rock on it, and
Yeah,
like he
everything's
sends
blown up.
he sends a sample up to the good guys, and they all get their cure synthesized, and everything's fine again, except for the
Yep.
entire city burned.
Yeah, and like
You get over it.
maybe or maybe not all those doctors killed those babies.
Maybe.
But that just means they loved the babies so much.
I
that they
think-
wanted
Right?
to
It's a
kill them.
compliment.
Yeah.
I think what happened after this, I want to say it was like Jim Gordon took over as Batman, and that's when he was in the mech suit.
Oh.
In a
For a
different
while.
In a different story, he was
Yeah,
a mech
after
Batman.
this, Bruce Wayne wasn't around for a while, I believe.
That doesn't
Neither
seem
was the
right.
Joker,
Doesn't seem right at all.
because they're both like basically dying, and they don't have the goo. So
Yeah.
that's tough
So
stuff.
does Batman die or not die?
He doesn't die. I mean, like, he doesn't die.
Does the Joker die?
Is the Joker back yet?
Yeah, he's back. He's been
Okay.
back. There's 3 Jokers.
There are 3 Jokers?
Great.
Mhm.
Great. Kill them all.
It's a long story. I mean,
Shoot them all in the head.
even
As soon as a new Joker comes out, just kill him. Before they even do anything. Just, you identify as a Joker? You're dead. You're dead.
Right? Yeah.
okay. That's
These are my rules.
it's an interesting platform you're running on for Congress.
Elect me for new commissioner, and I will kill every Joker on sight, regardless of what they've done. You got green hair? You're dead.
Yikes.
Dead.
That guy from Smash Bros. Joker dead.
Isn't he supposed to be a good guy, that one?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
He
was before I killed him.
Now
well,
is it did, yeah.
He
He's
was
a
a
dead guy.
he was a thief. So
I'm
He deserves it
picturing
then.
your villain is called the Hall Monitor, and you're like wearing orange sash, and you just
Yeah.
like kill all the other
And I just
villains.
have a gun.
Yeah, and you just
where
have a
I
gun
shoot people.
and like passes where you're like, here's a detention slip.
yeah.
But
I'm
the
glad-
detention slip is a gun, and it's a metaphor for death.
I'm glad that we're getting all this on tape.
Same.
Get back to class. Bam, bam, bam. By the way,
Then they-
class is hell. Go to hell. Go back to
Gooey.
hell, Joker.
Oh, it's a Joker that you shot. Because up till now,
Obviously.
it sounded like you were.
They had it coming.
Yeah, I hope so.
You can't come out. I'm the
I
new Joker.
truly
Dead.
hope so.
Immediately, instantly dead.
Oh boy. Okay, so that wraps up the book. Before we go, I do want to get to
Yay, we did it.
our panel picks, just our
Yes,
favorite
yes.
moments or sequences from the book. Mine was a moment early on when they're fighting the Justice League, and he's dispatching Justice League members left and right, and he just like goos up Aquaman in like 1 page, and that's it. That's the entire fight with Aquaman. It's like, hey, here's some foam. Psst,
Special goo that expands.
special delivery. You're good, and that's it. And Aquaman,
super absorbent goo.
yeah, Aquaman
Yeah.
goes out like a punk. It's
Mhm.
like very quick,
I knew your weakness was goo this whole time.
and like that seems like something he could have like done to like any normal person to just take them out, and then he's like, woo.
Yeah, maybe try that on the Joker. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
spitballing here.
He already used all the goo.
Oh man, he's out of goo.
Yeah,
He had to get more. He was so out of goo. He had to get more goo from
Yeah,
the Joker.
He was
He's gotta
desperately
wait-
searching for more goo.
he's got to
Yeah.
wait like 15-20 minutes.
desperately
until,
seeking
you know?
goozin. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
No, let's not
No.
go back to what Tristan was saying at all.
Justin, what was your panel pick?
My panel pick was when the Flash goes yeet.
What?
What?
He goes yeet. He runs by Batman and goes yeet.
No,
Yes.
this is before Yeet. I mean,
No, this is during yeet.
This
No.
is
he
peak
yeets.
yeet.
Yes, this
No.
is peak yeet.
no.
Yeah, he goes yeet.
I know.
He yeets
I
Bat-
know. This was.
You
this
can
was-
look at the page yourself, Trey. He yeets Batman. I don't know what you're talking. Did we read the same book? Did you prepare
Yeah,
for
but
this
this
episode
book-
at all?
This
He
book was
yeets
not
Bat-
made during Yeet.
It obviously was, unless this is the. Is this the first instance of yeet? This may be. I think we
yeah,
found
it's
it,
not
you
that.
guys.
It's
Zero
not that
for Yeet.
Vine.
I don't
It's,
think so.
I think
it's
this is a
Batman
vine.
comic.
This is a vine, right?
yeah, it
Sure.
took me 6 seconds to read.
What are vines? What are comics except for long vines?
Exactly. They're
That's
just
not- that's not
illustrated
accurate
vines, and this is
whatsoever.
yeet. Anyway,
Carolyn,
that was my pick.
Thank you for adding so much to this
He
conversation,
yeets
Carolyn.
Batman.
Your panel pick.
My panel pick was the parade because the Joker's riding a T-Rex.
Mhm.
And
Pretty cool.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's great.
Yeah. it's like a nice.
It's cool, and I loved that the panel, just the art I thought was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I mean we haven't
It was
talked
like
much about
sunset
it,
time.
but yeah.
Good art
Justin,
in this, very evocative.
you do art. Well, Did you
I've
like
done
art?
Yeah. No, the art was great. Art was really good in this book, especially the part where he eats Batman.
I thought I could get some insight, some kind of discussion, but
Lots of good details.
Ye-tails?
No.
Who? It's not funny.
How you doing over there, Tristan?
oh well, I think
How's your
that's
blood
about all
pressure?
the time that we have.
I
Thank you
had
so much.
much more to say, but okay, fine.
I don't trust you. I don't trust you. You've lost my trust. That'll do it for us. Thank you for coming, I guess.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you at home for watching. Until next time, we will see you in the funny papers. Hey everyone, if you like this, be sure to check out dropout.tv. It's by far the best way to support Dorkly.
It's a great way to get your favorite Dorkly shows a week early.
Oh, yeah. You can also get tons of exclusive content like Gods of Food and Kingpin Katie. They're great shoes, whatever. And you can get a week free trial if you go to dropout.tv today.
Shoes not included.